So I will tell you one thing, not to be too much of a Trump dick rider here, but Ron DeSantis would never, okay? Ron DeSantis refuses to take up interviews where he might get some contentious talking points. He only goes to dick riders for interviews. Donald Trump will go on fucking CNN. Donald Trump will go on Fox News and get fucking dick road. So let's see how his response is going to be. But this is actually fucking hilarious. None of which matters, by the way, because ultimately all of those guys are fake in the eyes of Trump, and therefore everyone else thinks they're fake. Like the Trump base it looks to Trump as their North Star. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the former administration officials have said about him or what he has said about them. And ultimately, a lot of those people are servile little pigs, okay? They're dogs. So if Donald Trump were to capture the attention of the majority of the Republican Party and win the Republican primaries, which he has a pretty good shot at doing, every single one of them would turn heel, or not turn heel, sorry. Every single one of them would genuflect, just like they did last time around, just like they did in 2016. People don't remember this, but Charlie Kirk, back in the day, was anti-Trump originally. Candace Owens was anti-Trump and a liberal. Charlie Kirk was a Republican, but anti-Trump. Ben Shapiro was anti-Trump. Ted Cruz was anti-Trump. Every single one of these people turned around and said, "You're the GOAT. You're the king. We love you." Okay? That's it. So a lot of this like shit slinging back and forth is ultimately meaningless. It's all dependent on whether or not Donald Trump will win the Republican primary.
All of them in the first place.
Because I hired 10 to 1 that were fantastic. We had a great economy. We had phenomenal people in charge of the economy. We had phenomenal people in the military. I'm not a fan of Milley, and I'm not a fan of certain of the television people. But I knocked out ISIS. I defeated ISIS. They said, Mattis, it would take 3 years, and I don't think we can do it. I did it in a period of like 4 weeks.
There's a lot of people who praise you for your policies. I just said that.
That's true. Well, I mean, you just went through a list. But don't forget, for every one you say, I had 10 that love us. And one thing happens, I find, with...
Do we have a longer video? I want to watch this whole thing because it's pretty fire. It seems good. It seems like good shit. Is it out already?
Trump wrapped his...
Oh, I need the fix. Actually calling you out. Oh no, what will I do? Stop. Oh my God, there will be drama. Oh,
First chief indictment number 2 last week. He sat down with Bret Baier for an exclusive interview. Here's a preview where Bret asks him why he had these sensitive national security documents at Mar-a-Lago.
The only way NARA could ever get this stuff, this back, would be please, 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 could we have it back?
And they
please,
asked for that.
Because they have no, we
They
were
did
talking.
ask for it.
No, and
they said,
I gave
can you
them
give the
some,
documents back?
and we were talking.
And then they said they went to DOJ to subpoena you to get them
Which
back.
they've never done before.
Right.
And in
but
all
why not
fairness,
just hand them over then?
Because I had boxes. I want to go through the boxes and get all my personal things out.
No, that's fire, dude. That's so good. Like the idea that like this entire fiasco, is because Trump just wanted to keep the boxes for one reason or the other, is hilarious because it doesn't fucking matter, dog. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. You just were not supposed to have those
Mr.
fucking
President,
boxes.
thanks for the time.
Thank you.
You know, I've asked this question, the same first question to all the candidates I've interviewed this year, and that is this. What do you think is the most important issue facing the country right now?
So many, so important, but we have to straighten out the economy. We're going to do that through inflation. We have to straighten out our border where we have millions of people pouring in, and we're going to do that very quickly. I had the safest border in the history of our country, and now we have the most unsafe, I think, anywhere in the world. There's never been anything like it. We have to strengthen up our military, giving $85 billion to Afghanistan didn't exactly help, but we have to strengthen up our military, get the woke out of our military, and basically respect all over the world. We don't have it anymore. We had tremendous respect 3 years ago. We don't have respect anymore. They don't listen to us. They don't care about us. They just don't do what we want them to do and what they have to do, especially since we make life very good for many countries, and we have to get that respect back. And if we don't, we've got some big problems.
We asked viewers to send in questions on social media. We had a ton of responses. Here's one of them. Erica tweets this: what is the first thing you will do to turn this country around if you get elected?
Well, I do two simultaneously. I'd start drilling. We have the most liquid gold under our feet, oil, than any other country, more than Saudi Arabia, more than Russia, and that's going to bring down the pressure on inflation, and we're going to have very little inflation very soon. We had virtually none when I was president. And second, that close up the border, because we can't have prisoners and people from mental institutions coming into our country. They're emptying out from all over the world, not just from the 3 or 4 countries we talk about, the neighboring countries all over the world. They're coming into our country at levels that nobody's ever seen before, Brett, and we have to stop it. And they are emptying out their prisons, and they're emptying out their mental institutions and insane asylums into the U.S., and we're not a dumping ground. I would stop it immediately and get a lot of the bad ones out. We'd get them out very quickly.
Fox viewers were able to watch your speech here at Bedminster.
They want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom.
The day of your arrest and
can you believe it?
Federal
arrest by my opponent.
Appearance in federal court in Miami.
Right.
And your explanation of the Presidential Records Act and your defense, how you and others believe that that applies here. Obviously, you know, other legal experts, your Attorney General Bill Barr, they do not think that that applies to handling classified national security and defense materials. But that legal battle aside, I just want to ask you a couple of specifics. Why did
I did everything right and they indicted me?
I love that shit so much, dude. It's just so good. It's just so fucking good.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
Oh my God. Ay, 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 this fucking mouse, dude.
Sensitive national security defense documents, like the war plans for a strike on Iran.
So like every other president, I take things out. And in my case, I took it out pretty much in a hurry, but people packed it up and we left. And I had clothing in there. I had all sorts of personal items in there, much stuff. And by the way, when Bill Barr, who's, you know, a coward, Bill Barr was a coward. Bill Barr didn't do what he was supposed to do. I fired him, and he has great hatred, and that's okay, because some people do, and some people love me very much. He didn't resign. I asked him, give me a letter immediately, because he didn't have the courage to go after so many different things, and you and I have discussed it before, but he was a coward. And he obviously doesn't like me too much, and there are a lot of people that don't, and there are a lot of people that feel just the opposite.
But on the specific on the documents.
Let me just explain.
Yeah.
So I've had a lot of things in there.
Let him explain, Brett.
I will go through those boxes. I have to go through those boxes. I take out personal things. As far as the levels and all, everything was declassified because I had the right to declassify. You want to talk about a mess, take a look at Biden, where he's got 1,850 boxes. He has boxes stored in Chinatown in D.C. He has boxes stored at Penn Center, and he has boxes under his Corvette.
Dude, I absolutely love that his counter to 37 counts, including espionage, is I was going to get around to it, and Joe Biden did worse. It's like, it's awesome. I mean, he is just absolutely relying on winning the presidency. Outside of that, he has no counter. He has no out. He has nothing that would hold up in a court of law. He's just like, well, I was going to do it. I was going to give it back. I was going to get around to it. It's fucking crazy, dude. It's crazy. He did everything right and they indicted him.
And around his Corvette, sitting in a garage for years, where it was very seriously classified. I have every right to have those boxes. This is purely a Presidential Records Act. This is not a criminal thing. In fact, the New York Times, of all, had a story just the other day that the only way NARA could ever get this stuff, this back, would be, please, 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 could we have it back?
And they
please,
asked for that.
because they have no. We
They
were
did
talking.
ask for it.
No, and
they said,
I gave
"Can you
them
give the
some,
documents back?"
And we were talking.
And then they said they went to DOJ to subpoena you to get them
which
back.
they've never done before.
Right.
And in
but
all
why not
fairness,
just hand them over then?
Because I had boxes. I want to go through the boxes and get all my personal things out. I don't want to hand that over to Nara yet. And I was very busy, as you've sort of seen.
Yeah, but
I've been
according to
very,
the
very
indictment,
busy.
you then tell this aide to move to other locations after telling your lawyers to say you'd fully complied with the subpoena when you hadn't.
But before I send boxes over, I have to take all of my things out. These boxes were interspersed with all sorts of things, golf shirts, clothing, pants, shoes. There were many things. I would say
Iran war
much more, not that I know of, but everything was declassified. And Biden didn't have the right to do that because he wasn't president. Nor did Mike Pence, by the way, have the right to do that because he wasn't president.
All right, I'm not going to belabor this.
No, but Brett,
but
when you look at
want to
this,
just get to the
other
specific.
presidents, when they leave, they take the papers. They have thousands and thousands. Obama had it. Nixon had it. Carter had
Their
it. The
argument
Bushes
is that
had
these
it.
are super sensitive national security documents. All right, so
I'm sure you'll
this
see
is-
real super sensitive that Biden has, because
This is-
Biden has far more than anybody's ever kept.
And he turned them over when asked.
No, he
but-
didn't.
but
He
that's
still
what he
hasn't given
says.
the 1,850 boxes that's stored at the University of Delaware. In fact, they're fighting them in court,
Right.
and they're fighting them. And
But he
the
opened
boxes,
up for them to look at it.
excuse me, the boxes from Chinatown, he didn't turn them over. He sent them up to his lawyer in Boston to look at before they handed him over.
And there are special counsel is looking at that, and we'll see what comes out of
Well,
it. But
you
I
can
do want to
imagine-
just
you can
end with
imagine
this. I
what's
don't want to
gonna
dwell on it. But according to the indictment, you were here at Bedminster on July 21st, 2021, after you're no longer president, and you were...
I do love Chinatown being mentioned because, like, they make it seem like Chinatown is like a dog whistle for China, because Americans are so fucking stupid that they literally have no way of comprehending that, like, Chinatown isn't America and it's predominantly American people living there. That, like, automatically he keeps saying Chinatown to invoke spies, like Chinese spies. They're the ones who are, controlling Biden's documents. Because, like, remember, they literally did this during COVID, where they literally were just like, during COVID, in the beginning of COVID, they were like, oh, I can't go to Chinatown because I'm worried I'm going to get COVID. Okay? I'm worried I'm going to get COVID if I go to Chinatown. Like, that was the whole fucking perspective that these hogs and hoglets and hogalinas had. So he's just kind of running off with that. I personally love that shit. Okay? Just like I love when, what's his face, gifts another 50 big ones. It's crazy. Okay? Holy shit. 34 MKD 50 with another 50 big ones. My man is juicing me up. He's like, bro, you're in Japan. You're still fucking delivering insane content for us in Japan. The fun never stops. The content never stops. You know? We got you. I got you.
Recorded saying that you had a document detailing a plan of attack on another country that was prepared by the U.S. military for you when you were president. The Iran attack plan. You remember that?
Ready?
You were recorded.
It wasn't a document.
Okay.
I had lots of paper. I had copies of newspaper articles. I had copies of magazines.
I know.
I
This
had
is
copies of
specifically a
everything.
quote. You're quoted
And
on the
I know-
recording saying the document was secret, adding that you could have declassified it while you were president, but, quote, now I can't. You know this is still secret, highly confidential. And the indictment cites the recording and the...
Dude, he's getting ass blasted by Fox News for two reasons, okay? One, because the Republican Party, those who have power within the Republican Party want Trump gone. That's number one. Number two, he's dead. He got. Like, they got him dead to rights. So it's pretty fucking ridiculous. Because there's no out for him on this issue. And it's also kind of hilarious because, like, they're looking for, like, some kind of defense. And he doesn't really have one. He has nothing. Like, he got caught red-handed and he recorded himself admitting to a crime.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
And it's like, you can say that all day, every day, baby, but I don't know.
Testimony from people in the room saying you showed it to people there that day. So you say on this on tape,
it says just the opposite,
that you can't declassify it. So why have it?
When I said that I couldn't declassify it now, that's because I wasn't president. I never made any bones about that. When I'm not president, I can't declassify.
And that's what you said. You didn't declassify it.
I said no. I said I couldn't. But that wasn't a document, Brett. There was no document. That was a massive amount of papers and everything else talking about Iran and other things. And it may have been held up or may not, but that was not a document. I didn't have a document per se. There was nothing to declassify. These were newspaper stories, magazine stories, and articles.
I'm just saying what the indictment says.
Well,
the recording and the people in the room who testified.
These people are very dishonest people. They're thugs. They're thugs. If you look at what they've done to other people, what they've done to, and overturned in the U.S. Supreme Court. These are thugs.
The suggestion was that you wanted this as evidence that the military, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Milley, had preemptively sent you plans for a possible attack on Iran, and that you didn't order that to happen. That's the suggestion.
I never ordered it to happen, no.
But that's why you wanted the document.
I don't think I've ever seen a document from Milley. Milley, frankly, was incompetent. The last one I'd want to attack with as my leader would be Milley. That I can tell you.
All right, last thing on this. There are 31 documents listed. Nuclear capabilities of foreign countries, related to military capabilities of foreign countries, intelligence briefings on foreign countries. Why do you want to hold on to those documents after you?
To show Kid Rock. Brett, I want to show Kid Rock. Do you know Kid Rock, Brett? He's so cool. I love his music, believe me. He's such a fun guy. Have you ever seen a song by Kid Rock? Have you ever listened when he says, I call it statutory, they call it statutory, I call it mandatory. I love it. I love it. I have to show Kid Rock the documents. Believe me, Kid Diddler Rock.
You're president.
I don't say I do.
You just didn't know what was in the boxes?
With NARA, giving them back. All of a sudden, we've got raided, which is a violation of my, Fourth Amendment rights. They raided my home, and they came in and they took things. We were discussing this with NARA. Look at Obama, look at Clinton. Clinton took documents, Clinton took tapes in his socks.
Interviews with the historian.
The Clinton socks case.
I do know it well.
And it basically said the president has every right to keep whatever he wants, and that includes me.
And the question is whether
this was not a criminal case.
Highly classified government national security documents fall in that category, and that battle is going to be fought in the courts.
It's already been fought.
All right.
There's a decision strongly that you can keep. But I wouldn't have kept. But they raided my house. They came in and raided. We were discussing, having very good discussions with NARA, a radical left group, by the way, and all of us.
NARA, radical librarians. Folks, these guys, believe me, they're radical. They love the documents. They want to maintain them. It's so weird. Why? Why do you want to do that? He said the radical left NARA. These are literally just like librarians on fucking steroids, okay? Just straight up book accountants, okay? They are accountants for something even nerdier. They're bookkeeping, but not even like numbers wise, okay? They read, of course, they're leftists.
All of a sudden, my house got raided.
You know what's funny? While this is hilarious and idiotic, I do still believe that a lot of people will look to this and go, yeah, he's right. No lies detected. The radical leftists at NARA did this to our great president.
Do you know if you still have any highly sensitive government documents?
No, I don't have anything, no.
Okay.
But what I'm concerned about, they took everything, right? I don't know what they took. They could be stuffing it. I don't know what they put in there. And we wanted to be there when they were taking. They wouldn't let anybody in the room. They've never treated a president like this.
Yeah, I wonder why, dude. Because it turned into a criminal investigation. Because you lied. You literally lied to fucking NARA and the authorities. And you gave them a clean bill of health. You gave them a document that stated that you gave back all the classified documents to NARA that they wanted to retrieve. And that was a lie. You knew that it was a lie. You openly lied to them. So then they had to fucking actually subpoena you. They had to subpoena and they had to get a search warrant, which a Trump judge offered them. That's false. His lawyer was there and to sign on the... yeah, you're right. Of course, the lawyer was there. One of Trump's lawyers was there and did sign off on what the FBI took as well. But ultimately, it doesn't matter because, like, it got to a search warrant because he lied to his legal team. He fucking withheld information from his legal team. He openly asked his legal team if they could withhold certain documents and like obstruct justice. Like that's collusion to obstruct justice on an active, ongoing case. Okay? It's just so silly. It's so stupid.
And that's fair for you to point out. I guess what this points to is this recording where you said you could have declassified it when you were president. You didn't.
No,
so
I
it's
could
still
have
classified.
when I was president, but there's no document there. Those were newspaper articles.
Okay.
They were copies of articles and magazines. There was no document there. And I couldn't have done it after I was out.
This is what you said in 2016 about handling this.
In my administration, I'm going to enforce all laws concerning...
Oh, that's nasty. That's actually fucking nasty. Him hitting that's like, what is this, MSNBC or fucking Fox News at that point? That's nastiness, dude. I mean, he hit him with that. Hit him with his own words from 2018. That was a different time. That was 2016. I hated when people were stealing classified documents. This is like, yeah, Jon Stewart would be doing this on a fucking interview. You know what I mean? Whoo, sheesh.
The protection of classified information. No one will be above the law. We also need to fight this battle by collecting intelligence and then protecting our classified secrets. We can't have someone in the Oval Office who doesn't understand the meaning of the word confidential or classified.
Your Vice President Mike Pence says he's, quote, deeply troubled by what's in the indictment. And he says, quote, the indictment contains serious charges and I cannot defend what's alleged.
Mike Pence had documents that were classified.
And he turned them over.
No, he didn't turn them over. He got caught. His lawyers found some documents, and then he turned them over. Why did he have them? He shouldn't be saying that because he had classified documents. And immediately they said, oh, that's okay. And I suppose it's going to be okay with Biden, too, even though he has them in Chinatown, even though he has them in Delaware, and probably 100 times more than I have.
So you're not worried about this case?
Based on the law, zero. Zero. Presidential Records Act, plus the Clinton case, which was won by Clinton as president because he took tapes of leaders in his socks. Zero.
Okay.
Zero. And every good lawyer has said it, and you've seen that. Every good lawyer has said that.
Obviously, there are others
who
push back. And
this was a weaponization of politics. This was a weaponization of the White House. This was a horrible thing. A candidate that's leading, I'm leading Biden by a lot, they go out and they weaponize. This is a horrible thing that was done.
Well, let's talk about the politics.
It's never been done.
Let's talk about the politics. You're facing, obviously, a number of potential charges in other cases, and I know you've said that you believe that they're political witch hunts.
Of course.
But what do you say to the voter who really liked many of your policies?
They still do.
But they can't handle the scandals or the controversies or the name-calling or the vitriol. What do you say to that voter who's worried that that all leads to a general election loss?
So, based on the polls, I'm leading Biden by a lot. Based on the polls, I'm leading all of the Republicans by a lot, by 40 points.
For the XQC juicers who are saying, like, he's watching your VOD and being deranged, I know. You are not the first to explain to me that that's what's going on. I reached out to him. If he wants to fucking talk, I can clarify. This won't be the first time that I've done this or have had to do this when I was in fucking Japan. You know, he's hitting the holy fuck, that is a big ass. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wait, I gotta take a fucking photo of this. That is like a bug the size of a bird. It's like a wasp that's red, the size of a fucking bird. Oh, it flew away. God damn it. It was a wasp. It was like a hornet that was, I'm not even kidding. It was like this big. Like this big. What are those, like murder hornets? Is that what it is? Someone said Asian murder hornet.